You know how using the most powerful AI models can be super expensive, and you're never quite sure what's happening with your private data when you do? Well, what if there was a different way? A way to access all that power securely, privately, and for a lot less money? Okay, let's dive into a project that's trying to do exactly that.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll break down what this new AI marketplace is all about. Then, we'll look at it from both sides, for the people who own powerful GPUs and for the developers who want to build with them. After that, we'll get into the really cool tech that keeps the whole thing secure. And finally, we'll ask the big question, is this the future of AI?
All right, first things first, let's really unpack what this new marketplace is. What exactly is Cocoon, and what massive problem is it setting out to solve? The whole idea behind Cocoon is built on this really big question. Right now, if you want access to the best AI, you pretty much have to go through a handful of giant companies. Cocoon is asking, what if we could change that? What if we could build a system where privacy isn't just a marketing promise, but something that's baked right into the foundation? Honestly, the best way to wrap your head around Cocoon is to think of it like a secure Airbnb, but for computer power. And this is a huge deal. It's a shift away from closed-off, centralized services to something open and democratic. Instead of one company owning all the servers, this network, which runs on the TON blockchain, connects people who have powerful GPUs with developers who need to run AI models.
Okay, so you know every marketplace has two sides. Let's start with the supply side, the folks with the high-powered hardware who want to put it to good use.
So if you've got a powerful server, maybe it's not busy 24/7. Cocoon offers a way to put that beast to work. You can plug your hardware into the network and start earning TON cryptocurrency for every single AI task it handles. And the key phrase here is verifiably private. You're not just renting out power, you're providing a secure service, and that's what makes it so valuable. Now, let's be real, this isn't for your average gaming PC. To be a provider on this network, you need some serious server-grade equipment. We're talking about a modern Intel CPU with a specific technology called TDX and a really high-end NVIDIA GPU that supports what's known as confidential computing. Basically, this is hardware with security features built right in, features that can create that completely private lockbox for data we were talking about. This special hardware is the secret sauce for the whole network security, and we'll dive into how that works in just a bit.
So even though the hardware requirements sound pretty intense, getting started is actually surprisingly simple. It really boils down to just 3 steps. You download the official software, you pop open a config file to plug in your wallet address and some info about your GPU, and then you run the launch script. That's it. You're online and ready to start earning.
All right, we've seen who's providing the power. Now let's flip the script and look at the other side of the marketplace. Who's actually using all this computing power and what's in it for them? Well, that would be the developers. For developers who are building apps that use AI, Cocoon is a potential game changer for 3 huge reasons. First, cost. It's a competitive marketplace, which naturally helps drive down prices. Second, and this is the big one, privacy. User data is totally locked down and encrypted. The person who owns the hardware literally cannot see it. And third, it's built to scale. As your app gets more popular, the decentralized network can handle the growth without breaking a sweat.
And the team's not stopping there. They're already looking ahead. Right now, it's mainly for back-end servers, but they're building a lightweight library that will let mobile and desktop apps plug directly into the Cocoon network. Just imagine, truly private AI right on your phone. Okay, look, a decentralized network where you rent computing power from total strangers, it sounds awesome, but it also sounds a little sketchy, right? This entire idea lives or dies based on one critical question. How on earth can any of this possibly be secure? Let's get into it. I mean, this is the fundamental problem, isn't it? If you're sending your sensitive data or a private request to some random server on the internet, how can you be 100% sure that the owner isn't peeking at your data, or worse, messing with the AI's results? Well, the magic trick here is that digital lockbox technology we touched on earlier. The official name is a Trusted Execution Environment, or TEE. Think of it as a Fort Knox, built directly into the computer's processor. Any code or data you put inside this lockbox is completely sealed off and encrypted. And get this, even the person who owns the physical server cannot see what's happening inside it. It's a black box by design. But wait, you might be thinking, how do I know the software running inside that lockbox is the real deal and not some sneaky, malicious program? That's where image verification comes in. Every piece of official Cocoon software has a unique digital fingerprint, a hash. Before your computer sends anything, it checks the fingerprint of the server's lockbox against the official one listed on the TON blockchain. If they match, you know you're talking to genuine, untampered software. No match, no connection. Simple as that. And this brings us to the final piece of the trust puzzle: smart contracts. These are basically the unbreakable rulebook for the entire network. The most important one is called the root contract, and it's the ultimate source of truth. It's a public registry right there on the blockchain that keeps a list of every valid software fingerprint, every approved AI model, and every participant. It's the anchor of trust for the whole system. So let's put it all together. The network really has three main players. You've got the client, that's the developer's app sending out a request. That request goes to a proxy, which is like a secure traffic controller, and it runs inside its own TE to find the best available worker. And finally, the worker, also locked safely inside its own TE, is the powerhouse that actually runs the AI model on the GPU. The key thing to notice here is that the two most important parts, the ones handling your data, are completely protected. And the glue that holds all of this together securely is a special encryption protocol called RATLS. Now, this isn't just your standard encryption. It also forces every single component to prove its TEE identity before a connection is even made. It's like everyone has to show their secret ID card, ensuring you're always talking to a legitimate, verified part of the network end to end. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and think about the big picture here. A network like this is cool technology, for sure. But what could it actually mean for the future of AI? What's really interesting is looking at the project's roadmap. It shows a clear journey. Right now, in Phase 1, the Cocoon team runs the main routing servers, the proxies, to keep things stable. But in the future, the plan is to open it up so anyone can run a proxy. And the final step, Phase 3, is to hand over control of the network's rulebook, that all-important root contract, to a DAO, a community-run organization. That's a path to true decentralization. This quote just sums up the whole vision perfectly. It's about breaking down the walls. In this kind of model, the incredible power to run advanced AI isn't stuck in the hands of a few companies. It's spread out among anyone with the right hardware, creating a way more open, fair, and resilient ecosystem for everyone. And that really leaves us with this final, powerful question to think about. As AI gets woven deeper and deeper into our daily lives, the question of who owns and controls the infrastructure behind it becomes incredibly important. Could open, decentralized, and truly private networks like Cocoon be a real alternative to the centralized giants? Could they fundamentally change who gets to build and ultimately control the future of artificial intelligence?